and Merry Christmas. For those who've been following along, thank you so much for checking out our 24 Advent days throughout the month. And we thought we would throw together a little Christmas Day bonus cocktail, cheer the holiday season.
Expect to see all that and maybe a couple things more on this episode of Savor the Burn. Well, welcome one, welcome all to this Christmas episode of the Savor the Burn podcast.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yeah, all the things.
Yep. There's a lot going on this time of year.
So much going on. We just had our Stratgazer Voodoo Christmas show.
Yep.
A few days ago, last Friday at the at Harris Casino.
That's always
Voodoo
a good
Lounge.
time, man.
Yeah, always a good time.
You're at the Voodoo Lounge in Harris Casino, so it's top notch sound, visuals.
Right.
They got the bar.
Yeah, at the time of the bar.
Well, they have Jim Beam.
They do have, Jim Beam White Label. I feel like grabbing a few bottles of the Black Label and bringing it up there, just like, please, can you guys do something with these, please? But I don't know. I have a feeling that now that it's in the past, that some Jim Beam crossed that threshold that they were quite unaware of. But anywho, welcome to this day 25 of the Advent. Advent's over, just so
That's
you know.
right.
But we have this wonderful cocktail. Tell us, and you guys get to see the video of it getting put together. Tell us everything that you did to put this bad boy together.
This features our Single Barrel Select Knob Creek. This has Mr. Black cold brew coffee liqueur in there. Mm-hmm. It has some Buffalo Trace bourbon cream in there. It's got some homemade cinnamon Demerara simple syrup.
Yep.
It has heavy whipping cream in there. And it is shaken, not stirred.
Right.
Grated fresh cinnamon on top of it, skewered with a cinnamon stick and a little bit of whipped cream on top of it. And you know what? We changed things up a little bit. I made yours in a coupe glass, which I think is what this cocktail called for. So following the recipe, I used a chilled coupe glass because we're not a poop.
We're not a poop. We freeze a coupe.
But honestly, glassware really is personal preference.
Yeah.
Any glassware is going to be fine for any cocktail, any beverage. I went ahead and just to change things up, I made mine in just a regular rocks glass.
Yeah, and he's not an ass. He freezes his glass. And this one here looks a little flat because that one was made first.
Yeah.
And the whipped cream became unwhipped. But, such is life. Things happen. Feliz Navidad, amigo.
Let's see what this is about.
Did you say what this cocktail is called?
It is called a bourbon cinnamon roll.
A bourbon cinnamon roll. Merry Christmas, Ozzy. Ozzy, the studio cat.
And then Miss Katie made us up some nice brownies.
Yeah, what do we got here? I noticed a little bit of red on the top.
It's chocolate brownie
too?
It is. I forget what she
must have put those sprinkles on there.
No, it was something else, but yeah, she put something else on top of there that was supposed to be multicolored.
Somebody wants his attention. Don't worry, he's not abused.
Ozzy.
He's actually quite loved. And sometimes he gets chased around the house by a 4-year-old maniac.
Well,
4.5-year-old maniac.
4 3/4 at this point.
Right.
He's pushing up on 5 real quick. And I'm not sure if I'm ready to handle that, but it is what it is, I guess.
What are some of your Christmas traditions? You have anything that you guys normally do? Oh, you guys do the Christmas card. Yeah, that's right. You gave us one at band practice.
So for Thanksgiving, we always do a mass purchase of matching Christmas pajamas from Target. Me, Katie, Henry, and my 2 older kids. We've had Ethan on at this point, and my daughter Cora. So yeah, we all have matching pajamas. We do the group family.
Does Cora
picture.
drink? We've had Ethan.
She does drink.
Does she drink whiskey?
Well, no, but I'm determined
Ah,
that we can find something that she'll drink.
sorry, Cora.
Yeah, but yeah, it's we do,
I met her once or twice. She's really nice.
yeah we do that. We also do. It was a big tradition for Katie. Me growing up, not so much, but St. Nicholas Day.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
But anyway, it's early December. You wake up and you find candy in your shoes.
Oh, just like what St. Nicholas used to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Or money. Mm-hmm. What are the tragic things about that time when he was around?
So little man is really excited when he wakes up and finds, Reese's peanut butter cups and
so would I
Kit
be.
Kats in his sneakers.
I'd be fucking elated if I found peanut butter cups in my shoes in the morning.
Have you smelled his shoes though?
I have not. I have not. I wouldn't be elated if my peanut butter cups were found in his shoes. Anybody else's shoes, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of feet.
Thank good they're still in the wrapper.
I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
Some people have those OnlyFans pages or accounts set up, and it's nothing but feet. Not for me. Not for me, y'all. To each their own. No judgment. No kink shaming here.
Yep.
No feet for me in my house.
How about you? Christmas traditions.
What I like to do is I keep an eye on, much like jolly old Santa Claus does, I keep an eye on the kids throughout the year. Mm-hmm. And if they've been really good, I try to give them a little something extra. I might talk to their parents, be like, hey, are you cool with me, giving your kid, a gift of some kind? And usually they are. But if I've noticed that they've been a little terrorist the entire year, that's when I really come alive, because there's another tradition around Christmas time where a guy named Krampus comes along, and he steals unruly bad children and puts them in a basket and whips them with reeds.
I really, 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 one of these years, I really want to
beat children.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Plan a trip. Go over to some of the Scandinavian countries
where they have that Krampus fest,
where they do the parade, the Krampus parade and the fest. I want to be a part of that.
I really want to go.
I will totally dress up also.
Yeah, I'll dress up like a little kid and get beaten in the streets. It's the only time I'm actually willing to be whipped in public. But yeah. So anyway, so that's my tradition. I find naughty children and I beat them with reeds, and of course they're kidnapped and they scream and they cry, but eventually I return them because I'm not a big fan of small children and the noises they make.
What are you gonna do with them?
Get out of my dungeon. Get out of my cave. But on a less serious note, what I've always liked to do, Christmas Eve. We'll open up a present, just one, dealer's choice.
Yep.
Whoever's giving the gift gets to pick the gift that the receiver opens.
Okay.
And then Christmas Day morning, whenever it happens, the great unwrapping ceremony.
The purge.
The paper purge. But when all that happens, it's just kind of game on. Like we have somebody playing Santa, and they dole out all the presents to wherever it is that they go. And then we're like, okay. And Jennifer likes to do this thing where you open a present, you open a present, you open a present.
Yep.
And when I was a kid,
we go around the circle.
It was every man for himself. Because she wants to take pictures of it.
That was my childhood.
And I get it. Yeah.
I was the firstborn. I was the firstborn in not only our family but our whole family.
By how many years? Do you remember being the only child?
I was the only child and grandchild for many years.
Okay, all right.
I would say for like the first 5-6 years.
Okay, all right. So yeah. You can definitely remember opening up presents by yourself because was it was Faith the second?
Faith was actually
third?
I had a cousin, so I guess it would be well technically I have a sister that passed at a young age, so she was 3 years younger than me.
Oh, okay.
But I had a cousin that is 4 years younger than me, and then Faith is 6. But I'd wake up on Christmas morning and my grandparents would already be downstairs having breakfast.
That's a present in and of itself.
But yeah, I mean, being the only for those first handful of years, it was game on, and it was.
But I mean, even for the younger ones, your younger siblings.
Where are the rest of them?
Right? What do you mean they have presents? They haven't even touched them because they're too little. They can't open them themselves. They need help. So yeah, I could totally see you like ripe old age of 7 or 8, like really digging in and having a good time. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. You recently shared a picture of your dad and his brother and sister. Yep. Who was that on Santa's lap?
My dad is the oldest.
This is the picture.
Yeah, right. And in that picture, my dad's actually the one in the middle. So he's actually the oldest of 6.
Oh wow.
Left or right, it's my youngest, his youngest brother, Uncle Dale, and then I think it's also my Aunt Jeannie that's in the photo. I think.
That sounds about right from what I read on the post.
I think, but yeah,
it's been a while since I read it, but yeah.
That's one of those photos that I've had for a long time, and I've posted it numerous times, and it always pops up in memories, and so got to reshare. And this year I had the beard to go ahead and capitalize on and share. And this is definitely the longest my beard has ever been in my entire life.
You've trimmed it a few times too.
Oh, I try to keep it neat, trimmed and neat,
and shaped right.
It's been usually I do my hair and my beard every 10 weeks, and I think it's probably been about 12 weeks, 14 weeks at this point. So
okay. With mine, it doesn't get a trim lengthwise very often, like maybe once or twice a year.
You get the scragglers on the side.
Yeah, the scragglers over here. So every week, before podcast recording night, I'll go in there with the trimmer and like try to line out this and trim this so it's not in my mouth while I'm trying to eat or drink. And then whatever. Anyway.
So I'm super excited this year.
Not that you guys give a shit.
So this year, this Friday, which is the 27th, Katie and I, we're spending Christmas in St. Louis. And we bought Katie's dad a ticket to join us, but the 3 of us are going to see the Blues hockey game.
Very cool. Very cool. You had not this bottle, but you had a Blues player sign your your Knob Creek bottle.
The Knob Creek 12-year.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I went to a tasting at one of the Hy-Vees in Lee Summit earlier this fall, and I'm blanking on who it was, but he's been retired for quite a while, but he is now one of the ambassadors for Heaven Hill, and he travels around and does tastings all over the place. And so,
for Heaven Hill, but he rolls in and has them sign a Knob Creek.
But let's be honest, one, I was interested because it was an event with some great tastings. But they also were promoting a handful of allocated bottles that were going to be for sale for everyone, that they were going to raffle off.
That night.
And amongst them, they had 8 bottles of Old Fitzgerald 10-year.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, the last tasting we went to way back in the summer up at Red X, I was the first number the second number that they pulled, and I got a Michter's 10-year rye. So I'm like, my odds are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't pull my number one time, so I did not.
And that happened to me.
I did not get anything allocated, so I went back onto the liquor store floor. I pulled a Knob Creek 12, and then I brought it back in. I'm like, would you still sign this? It's not Heaven Hill. But he's like, yeah, of course. And I was wearing my Blues jersey and my hat and all the things. So
and he noticed you right off the bat.
They snapped some pictures of me because I was the only one that was there decked out in blue. So clearly I was the only one that was paying attention
the only one that did
and knew who the host was.
Right. Yeah, do your homework, folks. Like if you want to go to one of these whiskey tasting events, big or small, learn a little bit about the presenter, not just the whiskey you're going to go see.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know if it was this way with your Blues hockey player, but when we went to Michter's Day, the Michter's tasting event at Red X, way too many people were bumping gums. Like they need to shut their.
They were there to socialize.
They were not shut their yaps and listen to what the presenter has to say.
Yep.
It's a sign of disrespect.
It kind of is. It kind of is. I mean, even if you've heard it 1,000 times, even at that Michter's thing,
not everybody else had.
I had everything that we were tasting times 20. I've had multiple of all those bottles at some point, even recently.
Yeah.
Except for that 10-year rye that we got a
Except
pour of.
for the 10 year. Yeah, it was like $10 for a pour. Or $5 per pour? I think it was $10 a pour.
$10 a pour.
I was like, worth it. I'm trying it. Win in Rome. Or win in Red X.
Let's get back to this cocktail.
Yeah.
What did you think of this bourbon cinnamon roll cocktail?
So I think I've never had bourbon cream. So this was Buffalo Trace bourbon
This is
cream,
Buffalo Trace bourbon cream.
I've had Irish cream.
Okay.
Lots of people have had, what did we talk about earlier? Bailey's. Anybody you ever drink Bailey's from a shoe? I'm old Greg. If you know, you know. But I've also had the Four Cows Irish cream, which is better than Bailey's, I think.
You probably had some of the Sugarland creams.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Those don't count. Those aren't bourbons.
Those are good, though.
Those are whiskey creams. Yeah, they definitely are. Like my favorite of the Sugarland.
They're not even whiskey creams. They're moonshine creams. Let's be honest.
Is it Sugarland? One of them has a dark chocolate.
Oh yeah, they've got a dark chocolate.
Okay, so it's Sugarland.
It's stupid good.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite. I used to put it in my coffee all the time.
Oh yeah.
Take it over to a friend's house. I'm like, hey, you're making coffee? Cool. Here, try some of this in it. Use it like creamer. This is really good. But yeah, so and with the cinnamon simple syrup that you made in house in studio on location, the full ass cinnamon stick is a great presentation piece. Great garnish. Freshly grated cinnamon from said cinnamon stick, super nice touch. Really, you can't go wrong with this cocktail, unless of course you don't like cinnamon. If you don't like cinnamon rolls. What are you going to do with this cocktail? You're going to be like, I don't know. You got anything else?
It's got the Mr. Black's cold brew coffee liqueur in there. Yeah. So you get a little bit of a coffee undertone. To me, it's not overly coffee.
It's not. No, it adds a depth.
You get a little bit of the depth.
There's a lot of sweet in here.
Yes.
But the coffee liqueur also is sweet, but it also has a bitterness to it. So it's like it's balances. Bittersweet. It helps balance the thing out. Yep. So that's
especially the cold brew aspect of it. I feel cold brew coffee typically has a little bit more acidic quality to it. But this is 120 proof, single barrel bourbon.
Yeah,
and
you want a higher proof spirit in your cocktails.
I felt it still shined.
You did? I thought it got lost in it.
But just barely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
the recipe
there
said ounce and a half. Ounce and 3/4.
Yep.
This might have been an easy 2 ounce.
All right.
For maybe of whiskey. I mean, even at 120. I mean, there was so much other stuff going on in this cocktail.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it did get lost.
And don't forget, it's then topped with the Ready whipped cream.
Yes.
And then we grate some cinnamon.
And then put that in there.
Ba-bing!
Wow!
Photo.
Yeah, photo time. Yeah, and you can see the photo right there. Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I think it's wonderful tasting. Excuse me. And you can find this in the cocktails part of savortheburn.com. Just click that drop-down menu.
He's just making more cocktails. Work for me.
Well, I mean, it's his fault. He put it on there.
Merry Christmas.
And you can find it on there. So all the information you need. And what a wonderful picture that was.
So,
yeah,
it's a holiday week, right?
Absolutely.
Christmas to me kind of kicks off the holiday season. And it keeps right on going on through the end of the year.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching this and you are already subscribed, thank you. If you have not subscribed, please smash that button down below. But I thought let's use this as an opportunity to promote coming up. New Year's Eve, we have a special bonus coming up where we are sharing our top 5 reviewed whiskeys of the year.
Yep, of 2024.
And holy smokes.
They are so good.
I mean, seriously, if I remember correctly, those 5 range from Perfect 10 to 9.625.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
was
not a lot of wiggle room between 9 and 5/8.
There were 2 10s, and everything else was just splintered off from there.
Yeah.
We had a great time with that episode, so please stick around. Be sure to tune in for that episode because that's a lot of fun. We had already rated them, so that episode does not get hung up on numbers and our notebooks and all that stuff.
It really doesn't. We had a revisit with a single pour of each.
And unlike most of our reviews, we actually took those 5 and we put them side by side.
We did. We
poured them all up right there at once.
Yep.
And then just kind of sipped them right next to each other and then went, oh, let's go back to this one.
Yeah.
Oh, what about this one? Mm-hmm. And we talked about the nuances between each of them.
They're all fabulous, but they're all super distinct.
Yep.
Very different, each one of them.
We also kind of just impromptu reshuffled them around how we felt
there
that
was one or two that got
side by side.
Yeah.
What we thought about them, and there were a couple that kind of changed selections, but
and yours were different from mine.
They were
as they should be. We have different palates. You know, he likes things,
but man,
that I don't, and I like things that he doesn't.
What a close race those
Super
5
close.
are. I have no idea what 2025 has to offer.
We're gonna find out.
But holy smokes, that bar is really, really high.
Yeah.
We got to find some better whiskeys.
Good luck.
We got to find something better than a Michter's 10-year bourbon.
Yeah, and the Michter's 10-year rye.
Or a Michter's 10-year rye.
Yeah, if you have suggestions for things that you think are better than those two,
leave them in the comments. Do it.
Yeah, and share this with your fellow bourbon or whiskey enthusiasts.
Yeah,
because like I just said, he's got a different palate than me. I've got a different palate than him. We have different palates than you do, and your fellow whiskey enthusiast friends. So, if you think you have something that can do better than a Knob Creek single barrel, clocking it at 120 proof for a cocktail and or a neat pour, then definitely let us know. Leave us a comment. Whether it's a comment in Spotify or it's a comment under the YouTube.
Good call.
Whether you're listening or watching or whatever, definitely do that.
I think it's real cool that Spotify has expanded and is continually upgrading their platform and all that, and has expanded to allow for comments on pretty much anything. Not podcast, music. Everything now has the ability to have comments.
I've seen a lot of different podcasts and a lot of different bands being on the Spotify Wrapped. Showing up this time of year or earlier this month. It's been a lot of fun to see the different bands that people are getting into and the different podcasts people are listening to. I would venture to say maybe next year we show up in somebody else's Wrapped. I'd love to see
show up at somebody else's house.
Right, I will.
Let's drink.
Yeah, if we as long as you're in the KC metro area where we hail from. If you show us as number 1 in your Spotify Wrapped on podcasts, I am willing to show up at your house with a bottle of whiskey.
With these hats on and everything. Let's do it.
Yeah. Or have you over, maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Not my studio, not my rules, but maybe we can have you over and we can put you on the podcast with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can either do something we've already done. You could pick a pour. We could have fun with it. Or we could do a brand new bottle, something we've never done before.
Yep.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Right before New Year's Eve, we will hit our 100th episode.
Which is wild to me.
So
100 episodes.
Just shy of 2 years, 100 episodes.
Yeah.
And you got to think about it, too. If you go back and you look at it, not all, but most weeks are multiple parts. Whether that's a 2-part, 3-part. Hell, when we had Chandler over with the J. Rieger Nigger League collection, that was a 4-part extravaganza that we had with the KC Kid.
That's all. He's always a lot of fun. If you know, you know. If you don't, please stick around. We'll have him back
And Jonathan doesn't know
We'll have it
this,
back.
but I know this. Chandler doesn't even know this.
What?
But
You heard it here, folks. So did I.
there's going to be a special episode coming up after the first of the year, and we might have a reunion of some previous guests, including the KC Kid.
I love the KC Kid.
I'm not sharing anymore because I don't have any more details.
Okay.
But there may be something special in the works.
Okay. Cool.
And I'm not naming names. I'm not saying something,
But he's saying something.
but I'm saying something.
All right. Excellent. Well, we talked about a lot of different things. We talked about what's coming up, and we talked about Christmas traditions. We touched a little bit up on what we talked about at the Christmas show at Voodoo Lounge.
Yeah.
Back on the 20th, and
We killed some great bottles this year, and I am
We really did.
I'm excited to see what bottles we get into in 2025.
yeah, 2025 is coming at us quick.
The bar is set high. Mm-hmm. It's a tall order, but I think we can top 2024.
I don't think we can, man. I don't think we can. Those bottles were so damn good.
All right.
The spirits are etched in my soul.
I'd say hold my beer, but this is a whiskey podcast.
Yes. It is a whiskey podcast. It's a podcast with cocktails and rocktails because we're both in a band here, Burn the Gates, here in the Kansas City area, metal band, and. We have a
The
great
episode
time.
has not aired yet, but here very soon we will have an episode with our buddy Josh Barber.
Yeah.
And right after the first of the year, he's gonna
He'll be on tour.
he's gonna go on tour, and then he's gonna go, just kind
Go
of
do Josh Barber things.
frolic off to Scotland and all the things.
Oh, man,
and
yeah, and he said he'd bring something
And
a little back.
knock,
a little
knock,
something back
knock.
for us.
Will Venmo, sir.
Yeah.
Hashtag need that bottle.
Yeah. Hashtag Will Venmo for whiskey. Or scotch in this case. It's a whiskey, but whatever. But we also talked about Christmas traditions.
Yes.
And we talked about, I talked about, the order of presents getting opened and that kind of thing. But one thing we haven't done on this Christmas episode is a gift.
You're right. We have not.
So I'm going to lean over here and grab your gift real quick.
What?
Don't look at my ass.
Oh my.
That's my fancy wrapping paper.
I'm going to pause you right there because I'm going to lean over here and I'm going to grab your gift.
Son of a limp biscuit. What do we have here? Here you go.
And here you go.
All right, I'm going to give it the old mandible pat down.
You go first.
We'll see what we got. It's
In my house, we always go youngest to oldest, so.
Okay. I actually don't know what this is. All right, here we go. Who's ready? Are you ready?
Do it.
Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. Open up the top here. Slide that out like so. Holy shit! Look at that! You got me the Neat Traveler. What's the name of the company? Aged in Ore. You got me the Aged in Ore Neat Traveler.
You might have to just go ahead and just unpackage it and kind of share for listeners. Because I got one of these before we went to Louisville this last summer.
One of these?
Yep. And it was so amazing. I also used it when I went to Sturgis on the bike trip.
Most excellent.
I've taken this so many different places, and I've had people just kind of second, third look at me like,
They're like, what is that?
did you just pull your own whiskey glass out? Think I didn't, motherfucker.
Yeah. Like, you think I'm here to fuck around? I'm here to show you some shit. All right, so get the packaging off.
And might I say, this little loop right here,
Uh-huh.
you can put one of those little
carabiner clip
little
thing?
belt clips, yep. Mm-hmm. And then you just carry it with you.
Stays right there. All right, so we get her unzipped, we pop her open. And what do we have here? We've got the travel glass.
3 ounces to go.
It is, I can't take it off of there, but it's It's got a neoprene, neoprene rubber,
silicone,
silicone sleeve on there, just in case you drop it, which I probably will because I'm half a klutz. You know, but it's glass.
Yep.
You know, and you got
dude, a 3-ounce pour
fancy gasket.
3-ounce pour is
3 ounce. Nice. And then what do you pour it into? You pour it into.
Look how beautiful that glass is.
Your tasting glass.
It's got the Agent Or logo etched in the bottom of it.
Right there. And these are almost as good as the Glencairns that we get. It's still tulip shaped. It's concentrated up here in the nose, so you can get your. That is so cool, dude. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Wow. I told myself I wouldn't cry. That is so cool. I had no idea. That is so cool. Thank you so much.
I can tell you from experience, it travels well in a saddlebag on a bike.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind with my bike that I ride all the time.
Or wherever you're traveling.
Wherever you go, no matter how you travel and who you travel with.
And if you like your neat whiskey, which I know you do.
Yes, I do. I prefer my whiskey neat. I really do. Oh, wait. This is a song lyric. Doesn't matter. So what do you got? Let's open your present. Open your present. Open your present. Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
I'm a son of a bitch. So I was at the liquor store.
Holy, you
on the way over, I took a picture of it. I was like, so a friend of mine sent me this picture. I lied. I figured I'd go ahead and get that out now. I lied. It was me.
Holy shit.
It's on his list of stuff to get.
Dude.
And what do we have here? What is it?
This is the High and Wicked, The Jury.
The Jury.
This is a cast strength, straight bourbon whiskey finished in ex Madeira cask. Oh my god, dude!
Aged 15 years.
Hold that thought. I gotta get these bad boys on, because one of the things that I love about High and Wicked is first off they're a class act. They also don't hide or try to do a switch and bait. They are a procurer of spirits, which means they go out, they look for distilleries, they look for orphan barrels, they look for barrels that are quality product. They do the blending, they do the bottling and release. And so, which is why they have some Irish whiskey offerings, they have some Canadian whiskey offerings, they have some whiskey, they have some straight rye, they have some straight bourbon, they have some Kentucky bourbon, which this is a straight bourbon whiskey, so it's not Kentucky straight bourbon. But yeah, dude, this is aged 15 years. The mash bill on this is 84% corn, 8% rye, and 8% malted barley. I
didn't even notice the mash bill over there.
That color, dude.
It is so dark. It's like that coffee liqueur you put in this cocktail. It is so damn dark. Well, not as dark, but still very dark.
I kind of want to.
So you can cross that off your list.
I kind of want to do an impromptu, dude.
An impromptu what? Pour?
I can't. I'm blown away.
Do we have?
I'm blown away.
Dude, I'm fucking blown away. Look at this thing.
Are you up for a pour?
You probably twist my arm if you want.
Reach down there. There's a Glencairn gift box right to your right.
Yes.
We're just going to...
a Glencairn gift box that you can get from savortheburn.com/shop. It won't have Flaviar glasses in it.
No. Mine does, though, because I use... This will not be our official review.
Right.
But...
Just get a quick taste on it. Pause for pop. Oh, there it went. That's a nice pop.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
Merry Christmas, my dude.
Merry Christmas.
And to you. Oh, wow.
All right, so,
Great legs.
The thing we have realized with this podcast is sometimes age does not dictate nose, palate, or finish, or the quality, or whatever.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does. This time it does.
The Weller 12-year is a league all on its own.
Yeah.
The Jim Beam Lineage, which is also a 15-year,
yeah,
does.
Mm-hmm.
The Knob Creek, we loved the 18, but the 12-year actually
it outshined it a bit.
It outshined it.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, 12-year rounded off a lot of harshness.
It really did.
That presented itself, I think, again, at least a little bit in a different manner on the 18.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 15. This is nice and soft. This is
very soft. Yeah.
There's some honey, like I'm thinking like a dark honey.
I'm getting cocoa.
Maybe molasses, some cocoa.
Yeah. Like dark, like a rich molasses, like a
butterscotch, molasses, cinnamon,
bit of corn, cinnamon. This has all the usual suspects of a bourbon,
dude,
and then some.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Holy smokes, dude!
There's a proof. What's the proof?
Well, it's cask strength. Let's find out what that cask is.
I didn't take to look at the proof. So yeah, the proof kind of caught me off guard there.
It's not bad. It's 104.
104? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 104.
Okay. The finish is plenty of oak, but I'd say there's chocolate on this palate the entire way through.
There's
like the palate from nose to finish.
It's like milk chocolate.
Yeah, yeah. It's very good. Yeah. Thank you for sharing it. Like, I mean, one, it's for Christmas. It doesn't necessarily have to be for the podcast, but it'll end up being for the podcast because
whiskey.
What isn't for the podcast?
Whiskey is meant to be shared.
You're right,
and absolutely. That's the best whiskey is your favorite whiskey.
Yeah, yeah.
And whiskey is meant to be shared.
It really is.
You know, don't bogart those bottles.
Don't bogart that spirit. Share spirit.
Them with those you love.
Yes, sir.
Wow. I can't wait to do a proper review on this. This is something. This is a special bottle.
Yeah, when you get it back on the in that area of the tongue back there, it gives a different sensation, and I really like it. So, without further ado, no matter who you are and where you are and what day of the year it is and
what you're drinking,
where you are and what you're drinking and who you're drinking it with, never forget,
keep on burning. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Green Giant.